As has become a tradition, our annual tradition, we, coalition of NGOs, are pleased to welcome delegates to the OSCE Parliamentary Assembly to a side event devoted to issues of accountability, rule of law in OSCE. This year's theme is Promises Broken, Torture and Other Assaults on Human Rights in OSCE area. Since the last assembly, the Parliamentary Assembly in Oslo, we have seen a continuation of brazen assaults on human rights in the OSCE region, especially among its easternmost member states. We are, however, living in a new age, the age of accountability brought about by interconnectivity. This is an age when egregious human rights violations do not go unnoticed, whether the waterboarding abuses or humiliation of prisoners in Belgrade or Guantanamo, or the more recent case of the death and detention of the Russian human rights lawyer Sergei Magnitsky. Torturers and
a little bit louder, please.
Torturers and human rights activists, the world, human rights abusers the world over, are being put on notice that they will not get away with their abuses. Today we're honored to have with us leading lights of the human rights movement, both members of national parliaments, OSCE PA itself, as well as activists of the civil society. We also want to thank the organizer of the event, the leading local human rights group, the Helsinki Committee for Human Rights in Serbia, and its director, Ivan Kuzminovic. And we're also pleased to have with us today the Vice President of the National Assembly of Serbia, Ms. Judita Popovic, who will open this briefing. To my right, we have Kimmo, who is formerly a member of the Finnish Parliament, is a OSCE's representative on Central Asia, a long-standing defender of human rights, and most recently chair of the International Commission of Inquiry into the inter-ethnic violence which took place in southern Kyrgyzstan in June 2010. We also have here Tony Lloyd, who is a member of the British delegation. He's also chair of the parliamentary group of the Labour Party in the British Parliament, a member of the OSCE's ad hoc committee on accountability and transparency. And Mr. Lloyd has for a long time been an outspoken critic of torture and extraordinary renditions and other more egregious abuses in the prosecution of the global war on terror. We also have with us today Mr. Vitaly to my left, who is a leading human rights expert on Central Asia and is the author of many different analytical reports on the region, as well as an expert on the situation of political prisoners and religious prisoners in Uzbekistan. And finally, last but not least, is Mr. Petr Afanassenko, who himself is a torture victim and has been lately a leading activist who has spoken out against torture. He will share with us today the story of his personal quest for justice. Finally, I am director of the Eurasia Democracy Initiative, which is an NGO based in New York, which seeks to promote the rule of law and human rights in countries of the former Soviet Union. So I will turn it over to Ms. Judita Popovic, who will greet and welcome you